Hello everyone, my name's Brew Cricket. You can call me Brew, and oh my god, do we have such a exciting video for you today. It's a long one, so I hope you can sit back, relax, as always, get yourself a nice beverage, maybe a bit of a snack, and join me in exploring this. Oh, I'm so excited. This amazing ship that we're about to look at. It is technically a community request from ClickBaker1. So ClickBaker, I hope you enjoy the video. I must say it is uh, responding to your request, but I've been looking forward to filming this ship for a long time. We're on another snow planet because I think certain ships contrast very well with this sort of setting, so we can really see the colors and the design. This is a deep dive video into the Banu Defender. I was about to say Merchantman, and then everyone was going to lose their mind. It's not that. So yes, this is a longer video. There will be chapter stamps. We're going to go through this. We're going to have a very long look around at this ship. We'll do a little bit of fighting at the end. But if you want some summaries, is this ship worth its 2.8 million price tag? Depends on what you want it to do. I think yes. I think it's a cool just ship to have, but there are better ships if you're looking for the most effective, the most efficient, and the most sort of meta ship to get. But this is a lovely ship to have in your hangar. It can hold its own, and we're going to look at it together. This is the Banu Defender. It's Brewkirk. It's New Waffle. And the weather's turning already. Typical. Let's get to it. I mean, even with the weather turning here on this moon, look at it in profile. Just, oh, it's my little space crab. It could be your little space crab at a price of 2,781,000 AUEC from Area 18 on Arc Corp. Very expensive, yes, but this is a different ship. And if just by command, if by granting my wish, the weather starts to settle, so we can take a good old look at the Banu Defender. It's designed to be a support ship for the much larger Banu Merchantman, which I don't think is coming out till next year, but if you've been watching the latest Star Citizen videos, the Merchantman is the mothership to this little crab. Look at its little crab face. We're going to go through a really detailed walk around now, but just letting you know, if you immediately go, I must have this ship, wait around for a bit. Let's talk about it a bit more. But there's the crab in profile, and it is 2.7 81000 2,800,000, as it makes no difference. It's actually a wee bit more than that, because you're going to want to do something immediately when you first buy the ship, but we'll talk about that. So let me switch out cameras. I'm already starting to freeze. Let's switch out cameras. Let's go to this camera, reset it, and let's get our perspective on. Then we're going to look at all the detail that this ship has to offer. I'm hoping the weather clears up a little bit for us, because, you know, we'll obviously want to see all the great detail of this ship. It looks like a Batman ship from the shadow, but it's not. It's a Crabman ship. But that's okay. So here we are in relation to it in terms of scale. It's something that strikes a pose. You know that when you see this, it's very different from really any ship in the verse. It's got its little beady eyes, which are the two cockpits. It's got its arms that articulate and fold out in front of it when you're flying it. And I just love the whole design, the bits of artistry in the wings. The inside is something like from an Aliens movie. It's like a living ship with bones and sinew and piping. So yes, definitely a ship. If you want something a bit different, if you want something that's going to strike that look and make people turn their heads, some not potentially in a good way. Some people don't particularly enjoy our little space crab here in terms of this unique style. I must say, when I first saw it, I love it when it's flying. I've always loved it when it's flying. But when it was landed, I was like, huh, it looks like a crab that's about to do battle. but now, you know, I flew it years ago. I'm kind of a returning player to Star Citizens. This is why everything's so exciting for me. Plus, I played on a potato for a very long time. So with the PC upgrade, I get to see all the stunning detail that this game has to offer. And this ship is definitely... I'm so excited to be revisiting it and hopefully answering Clickbaker 1's question about is it worth it? And maybe if you're watching this video, you'll have that question too. But part of that is if you're going to invest 2.8 million AUEC in something, that's a lot of hours in game to grind, that cash, this ship is very rarely on sale for real money. What I'm looking at the minute says it's about $200 plus dollars. So yeah, this is definitely a collector's item. Plus, if you get the Banu Merchantman, I mean, it just goes perfectly with it. Let's get a close-up look then at everything. Look at this little crab face. So cute. Sorry, I lost my train of thought by this ship already. It's got like lots of stuff I've just never noticed before. Like these little blue things, these little lights. Oh, whoops, sorry. Yeah, like what's all that about? Didn't notice that before. This detailing here is amazing. All these like patterns that are on the body and the wings. Oh, I love that so much. It's maneuvering thruster points. Now, this thing is a demon in a straight line. Or it's definitely a competitor. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Let me just wipe my visor. There we go. This thing is an absolute beast in a straight line. Definitely a competitor. Doesn't have the most, like, you know, ship-breaking, you know, forward top speed, sorry. It can get there pretty quickly, but we'll talk about that in detail in just a minute. But it's competitive. But its maneuvering thrusters are crap. In terms of strafing in this thing, you're going to get blown up if you're in a fight. Don't strafe with it. And we'll talk all about that in a minute. Its little arms and everything. The detailing is just... Look at the legs on it. I just love the detail with the sort of... ribbed? Is that the right word? And the landing gear. Oh, the weather's kicking up. Don't mind. We'll persevere with the bad weather. Just these little purple accents as well. But yeah, the little sort of like rib detail as well, just to give the hull like texture. And you can see all those sorts of like cabling. Almost looks like it's again the sort of alien bodywork, you know, from the movie Aliens. And its belly is lovely. I love its engines. Remember we talked about looking at a ship's arse. This is definitely a ship that you would not mind looking at its arse. So cool. Even in a storm, it looks amazing. It gets even scarier inside. In a good way, it gets even more amazing inside this ship. Before we go inside, a brief talk about... I'll go into another camera here, just so you can sort of see it again. It's sort of vital statistics. What does it comes with stock loadout? One size 2 shield generator. That, for me, doesn't do a lot. Like, some people argue this is a cross between a light fighter and a medium fighter. That shield, for me, doesn't last very long. So you have to be able to dogfight and maneuver with this ship. And because its strafing thrusters aren't very good, you're going to be jousting potentially with targets, which usually is something we don't do, or I don't do. But for those of you watching this for the first time, I'm a noob captain, so you're going to get to see everything from a noob's perspective. And if, like me, you don't want to have to spend years becoming an expert, and you just want to see, can I enjoy this ship as a noob? Well, I'll be showing you some of that today. Oh, look at the patterns there on the arms. Oh, and then if we just get up closer and take a look at the eyes of our little space crab here, it's just so much fun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's wrong? What's wrong? Why did you set up? Calm down, my little pet crabby. Calm down. I was talking about vital statistics. Yeah, so one size 2 shield generator. It has 4. Now, this is the other big thing, right? So this ship is worth it, but I bought this ship this week. So excited to buy it in-game. Just needed a bit of retail therapy. And I thought, screw it, I'm going to buy it. I'm trying to save my money. I'm going to buy the Prowler after this video as well. So, yeah, the money is going out the window. But that's okay. After 15 minutes of buying the ship, I was going to throw it in the bin. As in, just never use it. I mean, it's in-game cash. There's something I can do. So this is a word of warning. Do not get absolutely heartbroken that you wish this ship would be better. If you take it out to a fight and it doesn't perform. These weapons, I want them to work. And if anyone in the comments can let me know how to make these work, I would be forever in your debt. They are bespoke size 2 gimbaled weapons. There's 4 of them, okay? So there's 4 size 2 mounts on this ship. Or size 3 mounts. At the minute it comes default with size 2 gimbals. You can upgrade it to fixed size 3s. These sound cool. These look cool. They operate in a strange way in that you can't hold the trigger down. They're kind of like almost shotguns. Their damage is crap. So unless they're like disruptor weapons and they're meant to, take out systems or shields, I don't know. But it almost doubles, triples, quadruples the time in a fight as opposed to simply buying 4 cheap laser repeaters, fixed size 3s, throwing them on, and then this thing wrecks stuff. Now, so I didn't do that. And when I first flew the ship years ago, I was stubborn. And I went, these are really cool weapons. I'm going to make them work. I'm not going to listen to everybody that says, change the weapons. And I had a really hard time with the Banu Defender. So please, like, again, someone tell me if these weapons, I'm using them wrong or what their purpose is. But at the minute, I have to recommend that you change them out immediately. So the cost of this vessel isn't 2,781,000. It's actually add another 40 grand to that to get 4 size 3 fixed laser repeaters. I use Panthers, or you can use cannons, whatever you want, but you add at least another 40k to that cost. So you're probably talking 2.8 million and 40. Not exactly that, but that's kind of what you're aiming for. That's a couple of emissions anyway. But look at the detailing and the cabling here. It's just ridiculous. And these weapons are so cool looking. I want them to work. But unlike other ships, you can swap them out. And you can keep them. Now I have to do a character reset because when I swapped mine out, they disappeared. There's the belly mounts there. So that was bizarre. The weather's kicking up, so it's about time for us to go inside. Which is about right because we've looked, I think, at everything on the exterior. So if you've watched this much of the video and you don't want to see the interior, you're going to be missing something amazing and beautiful in just a second. But this ship is worth it. It's not meta. Absolutely not. It's got an interior bed, which we're going to look at. It's got a great quantum drive, which we're going to look at. Handles well in atmosphere, just don't strafe. Handles well in space. Fuel tends to burn up a bit quickly. When I was testing it, I actually ran out of fuel at PO and, bumped into PO. It didn't blow up. But change the weapons, or you will get frustrated. You will be disappointed. You'll be like, where's all my money gone? So for Clickbaker 1, who's saving up for it, yes, save up a little bit more and change those weapons out until we hear back from the community if there's something we're doing wrong, or we hear back from CIG that, don't fix the weapons, basically. But now, let us explore the interior of the ship. So first of all, some ships where you click the door, I think it's just because I'm on a slope, you have to back up a little bit, but with this one, you don't. So I know it's silly, but I like that, the way that you don't have to, like, back up. Just more detailing. And I've got the power on, so when you first get into your Banu Defender, the power will be off. I recommend turning the power on, getting back out of your ship, and then walking into it again, because that is an experience you don't want to miss. Walking into the Banu Defender with your power on. And just the steps. Like, even the detailing on those steps with those ribbed bits. Oh, my goodness. And do you see all, like, the almost bone work as we go inside? Oh, whoops, no. I'm ruining our first walk into the cabin. Let me walk in standard camera view here. I'm going to slow us way down so we walk in nice and slow. I'll just show you the experience of walking into this thing. Let me clear my visor. Like, how alien is this? This is so freaking cool. Let me shut up for a second so you can hear the ambient noise. Don't worry, it's not as noisy in the cockpit. But my god. Look at everything I'm showing you right now. if you want a completely different Star Citizen experience as your daily driver, because this can be a daily driver, other than traditional cargo running. Don't think it has any cargo, I guess, EU space, but you can do box runs and things. This is a very different experience in it. I know it can PvP because I got minced in it once. Or minced by one. Okay, so let's just comment on the inside. Like, I've never really properly... Oh, I'm confumbled with words while we're in this area. Looked at the interior. The stairs alone, just the detailing, and then the little like arms for the stairs. Beautiful. What I like as well is you've also got a button here to close the door. That's been there for a long time, so it's great to see. I need to turn that on. Shut up, will you hear that? Do you hear the space noises or alien noises? I'm easily entertained. Can we go into our other camera here and just show you some perspective? Look what the lighting does to my red armor. That's so friggin' cool. Oh, this ship is fucking amazing. And you can walk over here. And look, like that's bones, isn't it, right? Let me move myself slightly off here. There we go. I think that's bones. Looks to be like bones, doesn't it? Yeah, that's like a rib cage going up into the ceiling. I've never done as deep a dive on a ship as this now because there's so much detailing. Crazy. Can we get a bit closer here? Can we crouch down? Look at all this. Like, look. You gotta just... I think we need to do this level of a tour because an artist as a designer has gone into this much effort. And as I say, you're not buying the ship for the meta. I'm sure there's people that can make the ship do amazing things. But you're buying it for things like this. Just for this immersive alien feel. Just looking at all like the pipes crisscrossing through. And it looks like... Yeah, I love the asymmetry there. So this pipe goes under this rib cage and disappears. This pipe is doing something else. Getting some clipping there, but I've never really looked at the ship in this way before. And then just all the detailing up here with the bits of that same bone structure. Almost feels like the branches or roots of a tree. And then we've got the two beds. As I said before in other videos, explore your ships in this third-person camera. You'll have such an amazing experience as you do so. So we walk forward, and then just the vents. That paneling system is so unique and cool. Oh my god, I love this ship. I love this ship. The floor. Can we take a look at the floor? Get a ceiling cam on. Love the detail on the floor. Is it a wee bit asymmetrical as well? No, it's symmetrical, but it's got like scuff scratch marks on it. Yeah, there's asymmetry going on here because those scratches are different from over there. It's got a bit of what? Are they like? Oh no, maybe they're not scratch marks. They're actually by design. There are timestamps in this video if you want to skip past this point. But I'm just absolutely blown away by all the detailing. I don't think we do enough of that in this game. We just go, right, how good can it fight? How good could it haul cargo? So much time, effort, and love has been spent into designing these ships that I think we owe it ourselves to spend a bit of time looking at the detail. And if you don't want to, you can watch deep dive videos like this. Just spending some time in this environment. Like, look. Crazy. I've been abducted. I'm in this weird alien world. And again, this area, to any other Banu pilots, might have always felt very small. You just run past it to get to the cockpit. But spending a bit of time in it now, it feels large. It feels big for the ship's size. There's meant to be some sort of thing here. Is there eventually? I don't know, but it's not clickable at the minute. I think there's meant to be some compartments maybe at some point. These look like possibly compartments. I'm trying to bump into them, but no. Ooh, what's that? It's like a cable, is it, or something? I thought it was like an eye or something staring at us. Oh, these beds. If we just take a look at the beds now in... I'll go to this camera. Just look at all this detailing that we see around here. And the bonework, I think, is lovely. Again, I don't know if this is the way it's always been. You see the little detailing over there. Again, take a look at the roof. Bloody hell. Because I had a potato of a computer. But this is just blowing me away now. I'm taking a minute to have a look at it. Like, look, even like the wee pillow rest. They've got all the lights and stuff. Don't know if that does anything. Is that like a panel or something? No. Can we sit down? We'll lie down. I've been trying to make this video for hours because I've had character resets and bugs and blow-ups and I lost my suit. So if we get stuck in the bed, well then, that's my bad. There I am in the bed. We go to ceiling cam. Very cool. Won't let us zoom out anymore. Ah, just beautiful in its detail. Beautiful in its detail. We can get out safely enough. That's good. So that is this interior cabin area. 2 beds, but not at the minute 2 things, 2 viable... What am I trying to say? There's not going to be enough activities in the ship for 2 people to actually do anything, is what I mean. And what I mean by that is... there is 2 doors, as you can see, left and right. Each lead to a pilot seat. I always use the left. I'm just used to using that. My understanding, we'll try it out in a second, is you can use either door to activate the pilot's seat. And then whoever takes the other seat becomes the co-pilot, I believe. But I always use the left one. So we'll use the right one and see if it lets us fly the ship and control it. And then I'll go over to the left one. Okay, so let's now take a look at the pilot seat. Co-pilot seat, whatever way we want to think of it as. Because as I said, I think they're one and the same. There's no turrets in this. There's no really things. Oh my god. there's no real things for the co-pilot to do. So it's a multi-crew in that I can facilitate 2 people, but the second person isn't going to have a lot to do with the minute until they flesh that out. Can we just look at that animation again? Seriously, I am literally a massive kid right now. I'm going to try and get my camera working. Let me move it over to the other shoulder. There we go. And can we zoom in a bit? There we go. Alright, walk over to it again, Brute. That is just ridiculous. Oh, that is just ridiculous. And then let's just go through my armor here and we'll have a look at this cockpit. Again, more of that just detail everywhere. That sort of rib cage effect that's looping around. Oops, sorry. It's fantastic. The seat looks amazing. Just the ribs and the textures and of course we've picked a great day now. The weather's cleared up to have a look at it. And I love the crab eye. Oh, the weather's changing. I love that crab eye cockpit window. I never really even thought about the struts when I was flying this thing. I'm looking at it now because we're taking a deep dive, but... Alright, shall we do it? Okay, let's walk forward. Not wreck everything. Walk forward. So again, pretty cool area to be in. And then if we get into our seat, you can hear the door behind us is closed. I love even just getting into the seat the way it sort of twirls you around and up. Is very cool. Here it is, the Banu Defender. We're in one of the 2 pilot seats. We're going to see now if my theory is correct. If the right seat does the same as the left seat. I've always flown in the left seat, so I know it does everything one would expect from a traditional pilot seat. Oh, amazing. Let's take a look at the cockpit seat. This is a super deep dive, by the way. The instrument cluster, I actually love. It does suffer from the same sorts of problems that some ships do. When you're pitch fighting, you lose sight of the MFDs. But I forgive a lot for this ship. And do you see the unobstructed view we have? Those struts, actually, when our seat rotates in and pushes forward, we move past those struts. So we get a lovely canopy view, unobstructed. But again, I've never really looked at the cockpit much. And the detailing, it's just so good. It's so beautiful. All the little lights. And what's so cool is that when you're getting sort of a critical hull HP level, as you're quite low, all this area, all these lights change amber. There's smoke down below. It's very cool. The control stick's a bit modern looking. It would have been nice to see something alien like the Car2All, but that's fine. And then we've got these really odd vectored buttons, as in like their Z orientation, but that's okay. So we've got flight mode, power mode. Over here we've got cycling lock and stuff. I think there's also, once we turn stuff on, we'll get more options. We'll go flight ready. Here we go. So you see what I mean about the MFDs?
Activating. Systems on.
Just letting you hear some of those noises there. It's quite nice, and it's got that, I don't know what the term for this sort of radar is, but you know where just the dots are and you try and get your target in this center circle here. I like the MFDs. I like the blue color. It's lovely. And I think there is an external, again, there we go. So you're actually hovering over these little circles, which is pretty cool. So you can open the exterior if you want to close and open your door. So that's now an option for us. And then over here, cycle lock and things like that. Again, their collision hotspotting for these buttons is not very good. CIG, please fix that if you can. Thank you very much. So a nice cockpit to be 4 MFDs. Bottom ones really are superfluous. You lose them in a fight. So that's going to be your comms or maybe, you know, your power, your heat, or whatever that, whatever you usually put there. There's those weapons. I wish they worked. We'll be looking at you very shortly. Oh, they are cool and they're different. I'm so glad they're not fixed. I think it was the blade or something where you can't change the weapons out. I might be wrong on that. I would be pissed if that was the case this ship, because it would literally make it not useless, but very difficult to play with. But once you get 4 fixed laser repeaters in this, this thing wrecks. It's a lot of fun to fly. Okay. So, that was the in-depth interior review, cockpit review. Now we're going to see how it performs in atmosphere. We're also going to see if this thing will let us take off in this other cockpit. So, let me scroll way down so you can get the view of this thing lifting off. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Nice and slow. It does look a bit silly. It does look a bit silly. But I'm going to show you something now. It also transforms. Here we go. Raising the landing gear. And on your keyboard. Oh. My goodness. And it becomes something very different. The little crab gets his battle arms ready to fight. And now I love this thing. Well, I loved it before, but it's good now. We get out of the snow in just a second so you can see it better. Little crabby purr. Of course, you're asymmetrical in terms of where you're sitting. Kind of like a Millennium Falcon mini version where you're not on center or caterpillar or whatever. Probably should use in-game comparisons. But you might think, oh, that's so weird. It's so difficult to get used to. You'll get used to it in no time. You literally will just, when you're fighting and focusing and landing, it doesn't affect landing. It doesn't affect fighting. It doesn't affect, you know, flying into hangars because this thing isn't very wide. Trust me, you will get used to it. Don't let that put you off if you want to buy this amazing space crab. They just threw 2 red stripes. Do you see that at the back there? Don't know why they did that, but they did that. Oh, I'm just noticing that gold pattern. So let me peel back a little bit. And then let's just have a look here. See that gold pattern over the sort of the eyes of the 2 cockpits? I'm just noticing that. Oh my god. Would you look at this thing? Don't know what those 2 red stripes are, but they're there. They exist. Tiny little maneuvering thrusters. So those aren't the best in the world. Can we get under it? And then those little purple strips on the belly. So yeah, dash of purple color, dash of red. Interesting sort of styling choice. Those are the little, see those tiny little thrusters. So if we thrust up, tiny tinchy little thrusters. They're what's that? 1, 2, 4 that I can make out. On the yeah, there's only 4 there, and then on the top, when it's correcting, you see those little green flares of light. Just want to bring in closer so you're seeing that. Yeah, so there's only 4, and then when we strafe, 2. That's not what this ship is designed to do. It's not going to win in a strafing war. And I strafe a lot when I'm firing, in terms of strafing left, right, up, down. It's these big mamas here. It's these big mamas here that you're going to want to put to good use. I'm just... Do you hear that? Do you hear all the noises? Do you hear the noises? Oh my goodness. This is a deep dive video. Oh, do you hear it slow down? As I say, it's not a meta ship. I'm showing you everything that you might consciously or subconsciously relate with this ship in terms of what you get out of it. If you're in a ship as a daily driver, the noises are absolutely vital because you're going to hear them all the time. And if they piss you off, like I used to have an Ion and it did this weird, I think they probably fixed it now, but it did this weird, like just, it almost felt like a spooling from a quantum drive noise all the time. And it did my, actually I turned my game noises down. So other Ion pilots, let me know if they fixed that. But the detailing on the ship is just ridiculous. It's beautiful. When we've got the arms out like this, we can actually see all the detailing in here as well, which is really cool. So it's really nice. Beautiful, so it is. Absolutely beautiful. And then over here. I've never appreciated that before. So it seems like we can fly from either seat. So we'll get out and go to the seat that I'm most used to, and then we're going to talk about its handling in atmosphere, in space. And then I think we'll take it out for a fight. Even just... Sorry, do you see what I mean about the noise when you're in this area? It's a bit louder, but it's fine. Gives it sort of a rumbly feel. Makes the ship feel bigger than it is. Those doors are so cool. And then getting in and out of the cockpit seat's just a joy. It's a lovely animation. Because it sort of just sucks you up into the instrument cluster. Like that. Amazing. Okay, so we're going to try some atmospheric stuff. Let's see how it goes. So I'll stay in this view just so you can see sort of the speed and the boost that we're using. And then we'll go into a bit of third-person beautifulness. So we're probably at around 1,000 meters if you're doing atmospheric combat. The noises are ridiculous of this thing. Let me play you some of the thruster noises and stuff. I'm going to shut up for a second so you can enjoy it. Did you hear that? Like, it does... It's... It's a lovely ship to fly with its noise profile. It's just amazing. So, let's talk a little bit about then the statistics in terms of, you know, how quick we can be and stuff. So I've got my speed limiter all the way up to the top. Let's stop it. So stopping in a straight line on the atmosphere, it's all right. You know, it's not terrible. It doesn't drift for ages, but what do you expect from a light to medium fighter that this is classed in? Boost seems to be recharging reasonably well. Bit of lag there, but don't think it's anything outside the norm. Standing start in atmosphere with boost. Let's go all the way up. And this thing can easily, in this atmosphere anyway, of yellow, up to its max speed of around 1,000 meters. And then when you come off the boost, of course, the boost breaks the gravity barrier. So even about 1,000 meters off the deck, we are getting 900 meters per second, which is not too bad. It's dropping a little bit now as I drop altitude. And here it is flying in third person on the atmosphere. Yeah, A lot of fun. Where it has problems is this. And we're sliding. I've just taken my fingers off all the controls. Not too bad. But strafe correcting, that's with boost. And I'm strafing with D. Not the best in the world. Not the best in the world. It's not the worst in the world. Where this thing excels is because it can yaw quickly and bring those big engines around and then boost into that turn to correct its direction of travel. That's where this thing is powerful. And I learned that the hard way, because what I would do is I was in a fight, I would, even in atmosphere, I would roll around, and usually I use strafe to, you know, like circle the enemy. See how slow? I'm using D now and just a bit of W. And this is, remember, my throttle is speed limiters all the way up in the red. It's just, you know, and this is an atmosphere. You'll see it in space in a second, but it's strafing. Not the best. But when I then go D or W forward momentum, it corrects very quickly and it's off like a bullet in one direction. So, strafe fighting, if you do it a lot like me, you're going to need to change up your gameplay. That's my thoughts on this anyway. So again, rather than like trying to strafe to A to correct that spin, I would just use your forward momentum and then immediately you're away. So like turn harder into those turns to overcorrect to get around this mountain. Like that. And then in and around. Turn harder. And you're using that big engine at the back to correct that spin rather than perhaps A or D. And you could hit the A and D horizontal strafes to help. But this thing is all about its big engine. So on atmospheric, it feels nice. It pitches in atmosphere reasonably well. That's quite nice. It yaws. It's a bit slower on the yaw. Do you hear the purr? It's like they are little crabs speaking to us. Rolls nice. 0 overroll. Like 0. I can't even detect it. Let me go over a bit of speed. And let go. Yep. Basically stops rolling immediately. Which is good because you're going to want to pitch fight with this. So you don't want a strafe move. You want to roll and then turn like that. And then lovely. And then it stops nice and quick. Definitely a competitor for some other nimble ships, but it is a bit bigger. But it's woo. Its front face. So remember we talked about that with the Car 12. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. Is tiny. So there's not a big front face profile to be that bullet sponge. It's thin as well, which is good. When you get into this area, it's still not that big a profile really because the arms. The arms, the gap between the arms, you know, means there's a bit less of it to hit, is what I'm trying to say. So, atmosphere is good. Let's take it out into space, and to do so, we're going to talk about shields and weapons and things. But look at the fuel already. It's not as bad as 325A I experienced, but just keep an eye on your fuel. As I say, if you're fighting in and around Crusader, 2 seconds, 2 minutes pop the PO or the Grim Hex to refuel, back into fighting. You know, you're good to go. As we're going to take it in the atmosphere and talk about fuel in a second and max speed in one direction, I had to reset my account, so we won't be doing any bounty hunting in this, but we will have a dedicated bounty hunting video on the Defender. Hopefully you've enjoyed it so far, this video, and trust me, you'll enjoy the Defender, the Banu Defender. You just need to make a few changes to the weapons, which we're about to see. But its quantum is pleasantly a surprise, because it is in that sort of fence of being between a light fighter and a medium fighter. So if we click on Microtech, it'll get us there. It'll actually get us there and back. Look, required fuel 1070 up in the top left hand corner here. So that assumes that it'll be 2140, and we've got some fuel to spare. Hence why you're starting to see why I'm saying daily driver material here. It'll take you all around the Stanton system. R-Corp, it'll be a breeze if you want to go and buy another one because you like it so much. And of course, that means that the Crusader to Hurston run is no problem for the Banu Defender. You could do it there and back, what, 4.5 times. So this ship will get you around the verse. It will get you and a buddy because you'll both be in the little cockpit, or your buddy will be chilling out in the bed. It'll do box missions if you aren't a fighter. I don't think it has any storage bays, so you're not going to be picking up SCU cargo. Okay, so we're pulling away from Yella here just to show you some more traditional views of what you'll see when you're flying your Banu Defender, if you have one or are thinking of getting one. It's such a great place to be. It really is. I can't say much more than that. There we go. I'd locked the stick so I couldn't roll. Look how quickly it responds to my commands. Zero overroll. Zero overroll, which is ridiculous. Okay, boost, yeah. I'd love to be able to upgrade boost and things. Boost is a big thing for me for maneuverability. And I've got the sound bug now. Because I've been turning it too harshly. Oh, well. I think we can still see the weapons. No. That's a shame. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just relog quickly. I know there's medicine and stuff you can take, but I forget what the medicine is. So what I'll do is I'll relog quickly, because that noise is going to ruin all the cool stuff when we get to the fighting and things. And I'll be back in a minute. Oh my goodness, look at us, just look at this shot. The Banu Defender, what can I say? Amazing. We're just approaching Grimhex as I try and sort this sound issue out. It's not an issue, no, it's because I've probably been too aggressive in my turning and things. As I said, I know there is medicine that you guys have advised me I can take. So coming to a stop in space with boost, it's not too bad. You know, I don't feel like I have to flip it around. Looks like a Cylon Raider too, doesn't it? Kind of like the, is it the Blade? Looks like one. I'm just using that forward boost to correct the strafe, because it's correct the sliding left there, because the horizontal strafe thrusters, as we talked about, aren't the best in the world. So yes, I'll just go and sort this out back in a moment, but just thought I'd show you that approach to Grimhex. Very cool. Okay, so that was terrifying. Yeah, Grimhex seems to be a bit bugged on the server, but we'll try and... Oh god, lobby, isn't it? I might have made a mistake here getting in this elevator. Yep. It's populated by zombie headless people. Let's try another relog. I've been 4 hours trying to make this video. Back in a second, guys. At least the sound's sorted, so... Oh, that's something. BRB. Okay. Am I now trapped forever in Grimhex? It looks like it. It looks like it. Are you serious? I'm trying to make a Defender video, not this bullshit. Okay. Back in another minute. God almighty. Okay, come on. Third time's a charm. Please let me leave Grimhex. I can't live in Grimhex for the rest of my life. We need to show the good people of the Star Citizen world, community, verse, the Banu Defender. Oh, well, that's always a poor sign. Come on. Oh, great. Great. I'm on a different server. Okay, this is not a good start. This is the fourth time. Our good friends on the Australian server, we're still bugged. We've tried the US servers now. This is where we are, and this is not a good start. This is not a good start to the video. Well, it's not even a start to the video. It's not a good start to getting the hell out of here and finishing the video. It's like Star Citizen just doesn't want me to show you the awesomeness that is the Banu Defender in combat. So once you swap those weapons out, it's bloody brilliant. Let's try the right elevator now, because we have not been having much luck with the left. No more headless people, please. Please, for all that is holy. Please. Please. Oh. Oh. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Get us the hell out of here. Eighth. Oh. We did it. We did it. Oh, quick, get out of the elevator. Oh, shh. No. Camera. Okay. Back to the video. Oh, great. Now the elevator's a bust. Okay. Hello, person. We're going to try and see if this elevator is going to work. What is going on this evening? Double doors? I'm taking my life into my own hands using this elevator. What is going on? It's only Friday night. It's 2 a.m. here in Ireland because I've been spending hours trying to make this video with character resets and bugs. Oh, but that sight right there makes it all worth it. Hello, Banu. I forget what we were even... What was the last thing we were meant to be doing? Oh yes, we're going to see how it performs in space. In terms of maneuverability, then we're going to take it into a fight. And I'm going to show you the most important thing to do with this ship is change its weapons. Show you a brief view of that. And that will be our first look at the Banu Defender deep dive done. The next video will be a kind of VHRT bounty hunt, which I can. But we'll look at that in detail, talk tactics. Oh, so good. Oh, my camera is going all over the show. Let me call the hangar. So yes, really enjoying this ship, even with all the bugs Star Citizen is throwing at me this evening. You can even roll it. Take it out that way if you wanted. Just a different way to fly it. That's a bit weird. Hey. Here we are. We're back. And all just to try and fix that noise issue that you get whenever you bust your eardrums, basically. I didn't know the medicine for it. So what a better... why not? I can't even speak. I'm now bugged. What an opportunity now to test its space flight capabilities. We got 50% hydrogen, so that should be okay. So, from a standing start... I don't know if I am... Now I do have audio bugs because I'm not hearing the engines anymore. Oh, well, this game just continues to give. Well, you've heard plenty of the engine noises. Oh, we just heard the weapons. Damn, well, we're going to look at those in a second. Don't know why the engine noises aren't firing. Star Citizen's just really loving me this evening. Okay, how quickly can we get into top speed? And what is the top speed using boost? That's so anticlimactic without the noise. Very anticlimactic. So there's our top speed, 1199. Not too bad. A Gladius, I believe, is faster. But that's pretty good for a light to medium fighter. Why are my engine noises gone? All my noises are gone. I'll try and get in and out of the seat. That's a pain in the arse. Jeepers, oh. And you know me, I'll tell it to you straight. I'm not going to hide any of these glitches. You need to know the game as it stands at the minute. But this ship is awesome. This ship, I don't really find many glitches with, personally. Other than this noise bug. It's a shame, because that was so anticlimactic, but it got there, top speed, very quickly. Let's flip it. Let's see how quickly it stops, sorry. Using boost, of course. Slow if you're going top speed, but once you get under the 600 mark, it slows down very quickly. So if you're approaching objects and stuff at around 600 meters per second, you're going to slow super quick. Boost recharge back up to 100. Again, nothing to write home about, but nothing, that would cause any concerns. It's fine. So you're going to have to be using power triangle management. It is a ship that requires it, I believe. But you will need to change those weapons. We're seeing that in just a minute. Let's go back up to top speed. How anticlimactic is that without the engine noise? Don't judge the Defender on that, the Banu Defender. That's just a bug in game. Or my eardrums will burst again as my character. I don't know. Let's flip it around. 180. Pitch is lovely in space. I'm holding down W. And then opposite direction. Watch that speed slam to a stop. Beautiful. Yeah. So you're going to want to roll 180 if you really want to make this thing stop quickly. Strafing in space. It's not very good. It's only got 2 thrusters. So again, same as we experienced on Atmosphere. I feel anyway. It doesn't feel like it strays very quickly. That's just me. It does look bloody cool while it does it. What else we got? Yeah, in space, rolling's just the same. No overroll that I can see. Like the tiniest, smidgy, teeny bit of overroll. Pitching, as I said, was fine. Yawing, it's alright. You could be forgiven if you yaw with it, but it's not the strength of this thing. Roll and pitch in like this with a bit of boost. Yeah, that's where you want to be. So yeah, feels good. Feels like it's got a bit of weight to it. You'll be a lot more agile in a Gladius, I think. Definitely harsh wall, but that's not what this thing is designed to go up against. Even though it probably could, no problem at all. Not a PvP fighter either. It just feels a bit weightier than those ships, but minimal amount. I would mark it down for that. Okay, so yeah, feels good in space. It took us a while to get to that bit. Usually it should only have been seconds when we left the planet. I'm going to get out of the seat just to see if that fixes Get those nice seat noises. Lovely, lovely leaving the seat in this thing again. All the lights and everything. Just, oh, amazing experience. Let me just check to see if there's the proper noises in here. So it should be louder inside the... Yeah, so that noise is coming through. One gripe is that these doors are kind of like the Star Trek doors. They just take a minute to open. So there's a bit of a delay, like you bonk your head against them when you're coming out of the cockpit. So it would be nice to be able to lock those open. If you could, or they responded like instantaneously. But there is a slight delay. So you end up like bonking your head off them when you get out of the cockpit seat. Right. Alright. Now we're finishing up. We're going to talk about its MFD setup, combat capabilities, shields, and how they perform and things. But we're going to do that briefly because we have a full dedicated video with the VHRT tactics. Eventually we'll take this against the Hammerhead like all my ships. That's kind of the routine that we go through with these ships. We might do even a box run on this sometime, a box run video. But we're going to finish off this deep dive video with the Banu because you're not buying this necessarily. You could use it as a daily driver because the Quantum, as I said, you got room to do box deliveries. You can explore with it. Its hydrogen fuel tank's okay. It's quick. You know, you can land at any location in the verse very easily with it. So this can be a daily driver. But the big thing you're probably buying this thing for is its offensive capabilities. Its ability to fight. Again, not a PvP pilot, so we're taking it against NPCs. Now, because I've done a character reset, we won't actually have really any troublesome bounties. But let's start working back, because when you do character resets, what I'm trying to say is that you have to work through your certifications again. So you have to recertify yourself to be able to fight very low risk targets, low risk targets, medium risk targets, high risk targets, very high risk targets, and extreme risk targets. So that's the VHRT, ERT, and all those shorthands that we use. So let's do one of those together, and I get to show you the Quantum, which is very awesome in this ship, if I remember correctly. So F1, bounties, bounty hunting, and we have our suspect apprehension certification. No, that's not it. That's to capture bad guys. Tracker training permit certification. There we go. So this can take us anywhere in the system. Not a problem with us on the ship, but it looks like it's going to take us in yellow, which is cool. All right. Over we go. Good chance to have a quick look at the default Quantum drive, spooling time, calibration time. Calibration time feels snow? It's because I'm looking at yellow. Feels slow for a ship of this size. A little bit slower than I want, but of course you can upgrade the Quantum. Not a very long distance to travel, but I'll show you the Quantum again at the end of the video. No, we're not getting a proper look at that. Okay, so we'll look at that at the end of the video. Alright, so this should be quite an easy fight in terms of difficulty because it's our first tracker training permit certification. So it could be an M50, could be an Aurora, could be a Mustang with not very aggressive pilots. MFD setup, I usually go shields on my left. Again, I'm just doing this briefly. We'll do a full proper VHRT tactics run and everything. But this is just to get you a quick look at the whole ship in its entirety, and I'm going to crash. Did it look like the ship was bleeding there? It's now 2:30 in the morning in Ireland. I'll see you back in the belt. And so, what did we learn from that little display? Well, first of all, fully pilot error. Don't change your MFDs when flying into an asteroid belt at max speed. And, well, the Banu could have saved us. When I pitched down, I could have used the thrust, but my hand was frozen, my finger placement, sorry. Anyway, my finger placement was all over the place. My hand locked on F, and then I didn't get my pinky onto shift. And Banu could have saved us even from my klutz. So a double mistake. And of course, I forgot to change my feckin' spawn to Grimhex. So we're stuck in Orison. And now, it is nearly 3 AM in the morning. Orison is amazing at night. I don't actually like the pink clouds of Orison. Kind of wish, I know it's a big retcon, but they would change that. You see at night, if you come here at, at the depths of night, pitch black, this place is a beautiful place to visit. Really lovely. Thank you. Anyway, yes, I'll see you back in the belt. We'll finish up this video. We'll talk about... Shush. No, I know you're being very polite, but I just can't be dealing with you. Anyway, we'll meet you back at the belt as you stare at my stripy backside. Hang on. Whoops. Oh, yeah, there we go. Meet you back at the belt, everybody. We'll take the Banu Defender into the fight. We'll talk a little bit about its default weapons, and then we'll finish up. But so far, yeah, Banu Defender, an amazing ship. Definitely one to consider. Alright, see you there. Although the sky is a bit pixelated, fantastic. And I actually meant to smash into that asteroid because now I get to show you the claim time. This is a deep dive, after all, of the Banu Defender. Oh, there's a little friend there. Hello, friend. So let's see how long it takes to claim the Balu? Yeah, it's after 3. I give up trying to speak. Banu Defender, claim time. So by default, 8 minutes. Not too bad. And if you pay a whopping 4,200 AUC and counting, you get it down to 2 minutes 40. Not too bad. Let's claim it. And I promise, this time, I will see you back at the belt. But there you go. That is the claiming. And here we are, back in the belt. And in case, like me, you need to be told... Oh, I hate the spooling issue. Change your MFTs before flying into the belt. So I'm going to put shields over here. And I'm going to put a target status. Come on. Over here. Target status. There we go. I'm also going to change up my weapons so that they're all in one click. So you can do that by changing these numbers. And you look over here on the column. And the weapons are now in one click. As a reminder, we've got 4 size 3 points at the minute. Stock bespoke singe weapons, which are gimbal size 2s. They sound cool. They look cool. They're energy based weapons. I wish they performed better, because they really don't. Hit G to turn gimbals onto auto to actually make them function. And now, remember, we want to point where we want to go. Strafing is not going to be good enough for us. So, point where we want to go. Quick retab to see what's going on. If there's any asteroids. This is a certification mission, so I don't expect the target to be overly lethal. Unless it's got the targeting bug, which it has. Game. It's nearly 4 AM in Ireland. Don't do this to me. Not with this weapon. Okay, good. Targeting bug, no. That's good. H for decoys. It does look like there might be some sort of targeting bug. We're using lag pips. Just if that looks different than you expect to see. Okay, so it's Gladius. Dangerous enough opponent, even in an NPC's hand. I've got power to engines just to let that boost come around. Okay, let's try this out. So here we go. Now what you'll notice is you can't hold down this weapon's trigger. So I'm holding it down. It fires one shot. So you have to tap it. Power to shields. The size 2 shield doesn't really hold up too well, but it recharges quick, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. I'm just spinning around a bit while I'm talking to you. So power back to engines. Okay, let's engage. Let's see how the gimbals do. So we're going to have to tap it. Tap. Tap. So it does a cool effect. Just like an explosion effect. And let's go back in again. H for decoys. I think we're okay there. Let's try it again. So it's just about getting the shots in that seems to be the problem, because we're having to joust with the way this ship performs. The defaults, it's doing better against this Gladius. I remember reading somewhere back in 3.12, because again that's where I come from. I'm a time traveler. I left the game after them. That the gimbals are not doing the best job in the world. That these weapons sometimes work, sometimes didn't. So we've got the shields down and the Gladius down quite quickly. But now I think is the problem when we start trying to do hull damage with them. They look really cool. They're like impact explosions are awesome. I don't really need to worry about power to weapons because you very rarely, even with gimbals here, get much time on target with them. I far prefer even fixed laser repeaters here. Our fuel's down to 75 already. So the fuel does go down quickly in a fight. Bear that in mind if you're thinking about picking up this ship. Now with the repeaters, this would be dead. But it's not doing too bad. Stock's not doing too bad. If you want to persevere with them like I did back in 3.12, you know, it's up to you. But they aren't the best in the world. I would wish they did a bit more damage. Especially as they're shotgun type weapons where you have to keep on tapping. That's a phrase I haven't heard in a long time. Weapons too hot? Wow, okay. The heating system, I have not heard that in a long time. So power back to weapons, then power back to shields. I'm doing a bit of strafing here, but I'm mainly just trying to use my forward momentum. So, that was it with the stock weapons. It was okay. It was a Gladius we were fighting. But, I'm going to show you in just a second what it's like when you put on fixed. Now again, we won't have the gimbal. We're using gimbals at the minute. And it's a bit pants. Let me just switch to fixed and see if I can do a better job than the gimbals. Probably not on this thing. Okay, well that's a Mustang we're going against. So yeah, I'm doing a better job than the gimbals, he says, and then it misses. Again, you would never fight this way with a Banu Defender, like just sitting here, not moving. No, that's a very bad idea. You need to strafe with this, or not strafe, joust with this thing. But it's a Mustang, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm not too worried per se about it. I've got power perpetually to shields because we don't need to recharge the clips that much because it's just the way these weapons work. So, you know, it isn't a ringing endorsement for the Banu. You can see why if you first buy this, you might be like, I'm having trouble, like, killing a defender here. You know, and you are seeing it from a noob's pilot's perspective. No doubt you're seeing it from a noob pilot's perspective. But you might be a new pilot like me, and you're like, oh, this just feels like perhaps too difficult of a skill curve to get into using the ship effectively. I'm going to show you something in a second which will change your mind. So look at that. This is what I felt, if you're watching this, when I first bought this ship. Very, very frustrated. Okay. Let me leave this be because we'll be here all day. Let me go put on, for 40 grand, 4 fixed size 3 laser repeaters. And then we'll see what the story is. Okay? So I'll be back in a mo and we'll do another mission. And that will finish us off. Alright, here we are, the final segment of our video today on our Banu Defender deep dive, and we've got this thing set up. And you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, I really like to judge a ship on its stock merit, but you do just have to invest, for this build anyway, the extra roughly 40,000 AUEC, on top of that, what did we say, 2.8 million price tag, which is hefty. To be able to really use this ship in combat, and maybe more so if you use different weapons. And we're about to see that in just a minute. H for decoys, and let's see what we've got here. Gladius is again, so good. It's the same sort of situation as last time. And then in we go. Shields are already down. If you can see that MFD as we curl around, so we are getting those MFD losses that I talked about. But shields almost down. I've got power to weapons. I think we've taken off a wing. And just slow into that turn. Try rolling. Again, I'm not an expert pilot, but I'm feeling a lot more comfortable. And kill. It is a Gladius. We are doing a VHRT video on this ship. It can do it if you're curious. Well, you know, Brew, you're only doing LRTs and things like that. This is because this is a deep dive video, and I need to finish off with showing you a bit of combat. But once you get those weapons upgraded, no problem. Got a targeting bug on the other. I think there's another Gladius here. So we'll... yeah, there was. And I've been riddled with bugs this evening. It's now a 4:15, something like that in the morning. I'm not going to entertain this game with its bugs this evening because it is frustrating me massively. I'll see if I can do a quick final fight just so you can see that a bit more. We'll see if we get the mission. If not, we'll finish up for today. How quickly was, how quick was that kill compared to what we did? And it was great that we got the same target. It was a Gladius. Our shields were taking a bit of hits there. We were losing sight of our MFD, so that's something to consider if you're going to buy this ship. but it performs quite well in combat. What I find with a ship in combat is if you're used to strafing in something, strafing aggressively in combat with something like, you know, perhaps even like the smaller ships like the Gladius and others, you can sort of get away with it a bit more. This thing just does not strafe, so what tends to happen is you just end up sitting, not maneuvering. And if that's the case, you know, you're going to get blown up. We were taking shield hits there because of it. You might think, you know, why, you know, this ship's meant to be super nimble and things like that. It is if you adjust your flying for its strength. I wasn't. I was getting back into a strafe sort of situation again. On the weaker targets, you know, we could take a few hits on that size 2 shield, but if you're spamming very high risk target bounties to make cash, you know, this ship can do that, and we'll see that in another video, but just be conscious that you need to change your flying style. It's always that forward direction, that forward momentum, and if you're going into turns, use the boost to correct it. So, what have we got in terms of targets? Another Gladius. Quite a few targets, so let's... the only problem with Gladius is we're having lots of missiles thrown at us. So I'm in the turn, I'm using boost, power to engines to get that back. So, in we go. Can't see because of the sun at all what I'm doing. But these are good ships to really show you the Gladius fights, to show you what the Banu can do. So see where I'm slowing down like that? Because what I usually do is then do a D straight to come around. I need to get out of that habit. So I'm holding down W, and we're just going to joust with this thing. Power back to weapons. Get the boost background. Weapons do charge really quickly. Power back to weapons. Engines. Dead. See the difference to that upgrade? 40,000 AUC. And now we're having fun. Boost into that turn. This is an M50. The burden to some big ship pilots. We should be able to deal with it. Might need to kill some of the other ships first. Power back to shields. This thing does have missiles. Comes stock with 4 size 2s. Yeah, 4 size 2s only. So it does have missiles as well. 4 size 2s. We've got a targeting bug on the main target. Deploying some decoys. Power back to engines. Oh, that's 3 kilometers away, so let's get a bit closer. Power back to weapons. That's the M50. Power back to boost. So that slow boost that we were sort of hinting at earlier in Atmosphere, it's playing into the combat now. But it's fine when you get this jousting sort of situation on. Power back to weapons. The weapons recharge are lovely though, nice and quick. Power back to engines. We're losing sight of the MFDs in the pitch battle, which we'll be doing a lot because this thing is a pitcher and it's a jouster. Again, little missile there from the snub. Power back to weapons. I'm enjoying the fight. I hate the targeting bug. It's a real trigger for me because it never existed back in the day. This is something new that CIG have done, and they need to fix it. I need to make that call. They need to fix it. You can't have new bugs coming into the game. That might be a bit naive of me, but I'm really fed up with it after a night of trying to enjoy this amazing ship. And that's sort of almost been spoiled a bit because of bugs and things. And the last thing I want to show you is this great little combat. And to be fair, it's affecting my concentration, but you know, I would have popped this M50, there you go, very quickly. But get rid of those singes at the minute, that's my advice. Switch them out for fixed repeaters. You can go down a size if you want the gimbals, but you don't really need to because you can move this thing around no problem at all. I'm not flying efficiently or safely really, but look how quickly that Gladius pops. We'll try a targeting bug. I think it might be a wee bit difficult, but I think it's a saber, so they don't move as fast as Gladiuses. So we'll try it. See what we can do. We should have better shields than them, so power to shields. And just try and go in slow and close. Now again, strafing, as you can see there, not an option for the ship really, so you want to roll and pitch. Fire to weapons, roll and pitch, roll and pitch. And then just try and get ahead of it slightly. Normally you would just leave and retake the mission again if you saw this happening, but we'll just do this as another little test of the Banu Defender. And now I'm relaxing a bit, I'm breathing a bit more, I'm less frustrated because we're making good inroads on this targeting bug saber here. Just letting those weapons recharge. We'll check to see if we've taken any hull damage. See, it's so hard to track those shields. But I didn't use my MFDs as much as I do now back in 3.12, and it's destroyed. So did we get into any trouble? Let's take a look at the hull situation, self-status. It's saying that we didn't, which is lovely. And let's take a look externally for a little inspection on the ship. I think we're looking a-okay. Let's take a look at the belly and the light. Yes, we're looking absolutely fantastic. And what more can you expect from an absolutely fantastic light to medium fighter? I'm going to finish off and showing you something really cool. So let's jump up to Microtech just for the fun of it. And the last thing I want to show you is the bespoke quantum drive graphics. And let's show you that while I talk about my summary. So in summary, first of all, thank you so much if you've made it to the end of the video. Or if you've just clicked the summary chapter link, you're very welcome for joining us here. This has been a real trial and tribulation. It's about just after 4:30 a.m. excuse me, in Ireland. I started making this video at 12. Star Citizen really came out today to frustrate me. Let's just look at this for a second. Very sort of Borg. It's very cool. Oh, I'm getting some frame drops. Come on, game. Don't... Enough today. Enough. You've done enough to me today. Come on. There we go. Beautiful. Very nice. Custom. Quantum. So let's leave it like that while we talk. Let me just see what it's like when we're... Yeah, you still get that sort of green mist coming off the edge of it. Just something different. And that's the big thing about the Banu Defender, is it is quite ridiculously priced in terms of its alien tax. You know, we were talking about that... you know, 2.8 million plus the 40 grand to upgrade its weapons. It needs to happen. When I went into that fight earlier on, I just thought I didn't want to be in the ship anymore because of those singed cannons. It's such a shame. Again, hopefully you can help me get them working. But once I swapped those weapons out, this thing felt great. And then I felt a bit more comfortable practicing not strafe fighting, but trying to, you know, use jousting methods. I never joust. That's something I need to practice. To answer Clickbaker 1's question, is the Banu worth it? If you're not looking for the meta, there are cheaper ships that do fighting better, that do, you know, multiple beds. If you're looking to have a mate fly around with you better, that do quantum traveling better, that do. But this is the thing we're starting to talk about now as we look at these other ships. The point of this game isn't to have the very best ship in any one given category, because there's multiple ships that are really good. It's about just bloody enjoying the game and enjoying the ship that you're in. If you've jumped here and you want a summary of the Banu itself, size 2 shield, 4 size 3 slots that can be fixed or downgraded to gimbals, quantum drive that can take you across the system on multiple trips. That's awesome. It's very maneuverable in atmosphere and in space. It rolls perfectly. Its top speed is just under the 1,200 meters point. It gets there very quickly. It does drink up the boost, which is slow to recharge in a fight, and its fighting is going to be very different. If you're used to strafe fighting and getting away with that, this shield will help you a little bit, but in those bigger fights you're going to need to learn joust fighting, which very few of you probably will be doing. I don't, so that might punish you a bit and you might get a bit frustrated with the Banu Defender. But with all those things in mind, also, it's beautiful. We've looked at the exterior, we've looked at the interior, which is just inspired. I love the interior, and this ship makes me excited for the Banu Merchantman. Is it worth it? Depends what hat you have on. I think it's definitely a collector ship. I would definitely fly this regularly, just for the fun of it and the noise and the experience. And it is a head turner of a ship. People will look at this and go, wow, what is that? What is this crab, this space crab about? Why is it looking at me? So I would recommend this ship from that hat. But again, for the, you know, meta of is it the best ship in the world? You know, not necessarily. But those four, the way guns work at the minute, the way vehicle weapons work at the minute, those 4 size 3s, you saw there, they were, you know, they were wiping out Gladiuses and stuff. And the same happens when you take it against the Hurricane, the Valkyrie, and a Warden, and the VHRT, which we'll see hopefully next week. If you've made it to the end of the video as well, thank you very much. You've welcomed, you're in a special gang of the full video viewers. There isn't many of us about because my videos are very long, and I appreciate that, but thank you so much if you've made it all the way to the end. Quick announcement, we won't be streaming this week if you're watching this at time of release. This is, today I'm recording on whatever day it is. Where is my high technical paper calendar, it's now the morning of Saturday the 12th of March. So there will be no stream this weekend, I'm afraid, just IRL stuff. But normal service will resume next week. If you're watching this video in the future, well, that doesn't apply. I hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the Banu. It's as I said, it's nearly 5 a.m. Into the Banu Defender. I hope, like, look how quick this was. The Microtech run. I think I'm coming out of the jump to the Microtech run. Yeah, that was Microtech from Yella to Microtech while we're talking there. So that was pretty impressive. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you a bit of insight into the Defender. I try to take a very, as you can tell, raw look at a ship. And we look at it with none of the bells or whistles. I'm showing you the glitches and stuff that went on tonight because I kind of also want to show you the game and what can happen. And don't blame that on the ship. Pilot error as well. Don't blame that on the ship. The ship, when I used it right, performed excellently. When I equipped it right, performed excellently. And when the bugs weren't there, was a lovely evening in this vessel. You could do a lot worse. My name's Brew Crick. You can call me Brew. You can call this ship my Crab Magoo. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great week, a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.